Hi guys, hope you're doing well. And today we are in Pisnolo at the fabulous Wat Yai on a Saturday, which is very busy. Now I'm here because, well, I'm meeting Annie, but as teenagers, you know, she's not ready. I've got some time to kill, so I thought I'd answer some questions. Something for the missus maybe? I don't know. What do you reckon? I actually passed this shop on my other channel. But yeah, certainly an interesting toy shop. So yeah, I get a lot of questions. Why did I come to Thailand? Is it a good time to retire? Why did I start a YouTube channel? So I thought I'd just yeah, answer those for you. We're going to head to where it all began. A snooker club, just near the train station. My journey kind of began down there. There's a snooker club. Basically, I was getting hustled by an old guy for a couple $100 baht. I had enough, and I wandered over to the big hotel, Topland over there, sent some emails, and it was there I met my wife. We ended up meeting up later on, and the rest is history. Well, it's all about chances, isn't it? How your life takes turns. Little decisions you make can affect the rest of your life. Well, I was actually with friends in Chiang Mai. This is just a prelude to how I actually ended up in Pisnolo. And they were going to do the Mae Hong Son Loop, which is a very popular tour around Chiang Mai. I'd done it already, so I came down and investigated this area. Hello. And I actually was on the bus back to Chiang Mai, and I saw in the Lonely Planet that there was a hotel, well, a guest house, a cheap guest house, but you could use the 4 or 5-star hotel pool. I thought, okay, I'll just stop off for a couple of days and just chill out by the pool. That's why I ended up in Pisnolo. If I hadn't looked at that page on the Lonely Planet, then yeah, well, my life would have taken a very different turn. I would have just gone back to Chiang Mai, gone back to the UK, carried on what I was doing, and maybe returned to Thailand for future holidays. So yeah, my viewers of Walkstation 4K will remember this alleyway. I do like alleyways, so I thought I'd take the James Abroad guys down here. Oh, it smells great, whatever they're cooking. Harm. So that's it, life's like that, isn't it? It can just yeah, the Lonely Planet, that's how you used to travel back in the day before internet. Somebody come. You know, I wasn't planning to retire, I was just here as a backpacker, but I ended up just basically falling in love, and that's it. And then everything else sort of happened. That's not to say there haven't been difficulties. I had difficulties with the culture, the marriage, everything, but as in life, you know, you just, you know, I've kind of come full circle where everything's kind of worked out. Now, on the most popular comments I get, I suppose, well, in the property videos is, oh, you can't buy property in Thailand, it's a scam, blah blah. Well, everything's a risk if you're involved in the stock market, shares and all that. I mean, you know, everything is a risk, and especially at the moment in the stock market, it's like 50-50 whether the whole thing's going to fall off the edge. See what happens in the US, but it is weighing up the risk. I did it in my head within 5 minutes, and I've been down it. I've gone through process, bought the land with the missus, gone through, you know, the building process. It took about 2.5 years. So I'm not putting up property videos like I'm some guy landed off the plane just walking around properties. I've been through it, and I always get the horror stories. But I've answered people's comments that I've got a lot worse horror stories from guys that have got divorced in the UK, lost half their £1 million house in London, and don't have access to the kids. I've got some real horror stories there. So 50 grand, whether it be dollars or pounds, isn't a lot to well, to some of you. And you only live once. Most of us have only got about 30 years to go. Maybe less. I don't know. So yeah, you can either weigh up the risk, weigh up how your relationships are, your finances are, and go down that road or not. But banging on about horror stories, I've heard plenty of horror stories, as I said, in other countries apart from Thailand. What other questions do I get asked? Oh yeah, why I started a YouTube channel. Hello. Well, I don't know. It was strange. I didn't used to watch any YouTube videos or Thai vloggers. I was actually I used to like boxing. I used to watch Bald and Bankrupt, and it was actually him traveling around India. I got the idea to start vlogging and maybe travel around Asia. Annie had left to go to school in Pistonalo. Here we go. We're in the train station here, just wandering around aimlessly. That's what I mean. That's what I love about Thailand. Yeah, Chiang Mai that way. You can just sort of wander around on the tracks. Where was I? I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. Oh yes, why I started a YouTube channel. And I was going to travel and yeah, maybe even go to India and do similar things like that. And then COVID hit, and then I kind of wasn't aware of this vlogging scene, Thai vlogging scene. Saw a few well-known guys like No Time to Be Sad. I used to watch him occasionally years and years ago, and he's a great guy actually, and I love his name. I forgot it. What's his name again? It's a great name. I can't remember it. I'll put it down there, but great. What's his name? Chuck Honeycutt. That is a great name. I love it, and he seems like a really cool dude. But it's similar to like if you live in the UK, like watching videos of some bloke in Birmingham, because you live here already. So I never really watched much, and I wasn't really aware of it. But I liked him, but I wasn't like following him as such. But he was the first sort of guy I encountered on YouTube. And it was only when I started the channel that I saw these other channels that were out there, and it was like a hobby, and it still is. Just I had more time on my hands and he'd left, and I've really enjoyed it. I have to say, I've met a lot of great people, both in the comments and wandering around, and I enjoy the editing process because I'm not very good at this, to be honest. You might have gathered that already, but what I like is coming back with a load of rubbish. Like camera angles are all over the place. Sometimes I forgot to turn the camera on. Just awful. And then editing it into something that looks all right. And I kind of get a buzz out of that. I enjoy the editing process. I don't do as much of that now, but that's what I kind of enjoy about YouTube. And then yeah, recently been making a little bit of money off it, so it's kind of yeah, something you enjoy and you can make a little bit of money. You can't rely on YouTube money because, as I said before, they're a bunch of heathens. They'll just drop you at a moment's notice, and you got to deal with idiots sometimes, but you got to deal with idiots in everyday life anyway. So this is the front of the train station. We kind of took the unauthorized entrance, and any Thomas the Tank Engine fans out there, there you go, look at this. My nephews love Thomas the Tank Engine. I think this would be Gordon, the green one. Is Gordon the green one? I can't remember. Right, I think I got my bearings. I was lost there for a little bit. On those asking me whether it's a good time to retire here now, well, if you love Thailand, you've been here many, many times, yes, do it. It has changed a lot. The government is, well, governments all over Asia are attracting the wealthier trying to attract the wealthier retiree, but you know, you got your extra health insurance, you got to park the money in the bank, you got to leave a certain amount of it in the bank, but you can still do it. I mean, there's a lot of doom and gloom. I mean, I've kind of doom and gloomed it a little bit, but it has changed a lot since I was here in the early 2000s. But personally, if I was going to come to Asia, I'd go down the nomadic retiree route. I was going to do a video on this, because I'd actually get a Cambodian retirement visa, which is very easy to get compared to other Southeast Asian countries. I think you don't even have to show money in the bank. There's not even a clear amount you have to show monthly. I had to actually ask a YouTuber how much you have to show every month to get the visa, and he says, oh, just enough to live on, you know, $1,000 or something. It's like, so basically in Cambodia, agents set it up. Go in on a tourist visa, and then you can apply for a retirement visa. You've got to be over 55, but I think you can get other visas through the agents if you're younger, and then access the other countries from there for 2 or 3 years until you decide where you want to end up, because a lot of people go all in. They've been on holiday in Thailand and they sell everything up, put all the chips on Thailand, and then they're not happy here. I've met them. And so I would do that. I would actually go to Cambodia for a while, and you'd say, well, yeah, how are you going to get into Thailand without visas? Well, the laws have actually relaxed on how much time you can spend within 12 months on tourist visas. It used to be 3 months within a 6-month period. Just got to watch I don't get mowed down by a train. But now that's been scrapped. You can stay here. You can come in and out on visas, tourist visas. Where'd they go? As long as it's by air, you can actually theoretically come in on a 30-day, do an extension, and repeat doing that 6 times in 12 months for I'm gonna photobomb this. Monk's photobomb me. You all right, mate? So sidetrack there. So you can actually theoretically come in by air, get the 2 months, well, the 30-day in, and then extend, fly back out, spend a few months in Cambodia, or go to Laos, which is quite easy to get into. They've got a business visa there, I think, which is quite easy to obtain. You can sort of, I don't know, just come into Thailand for a couple of months at a time, really check the place out, but have a base in Cambodia. You don't have to show financials, as I said before, and you might actually fall in love with Cambodia or Laos, or I haven't seen any trains yet, or Thailand. You never know, but a lot of guys come here a couple of holidays, decide to retire here, and it doesn't work out. So if it was me, that's the way I'd go. I suppose the negatives is it's kind of, yeah, you got to know the visa system a little bit, and people like just to have everything in order when they arrive. But yeah, I'd like the freedom to just do what I want, and as I said, you might find somewhere else that floats your boat. So I wouldn't be put off by the doom and gloom that's been around retiring in Thailand. I mean, yeah, as I said, I've gone on about the negatives, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're happy and it's a place you want to be, go for it. So that's it. This is kind of where it all began for me. Piscinaloe and the snooker club. You can just see the hotel through the gap there. How long was that now? Over 20 years ago. So yeah, it's funny how life works out. 23 years later, I'm walking along the train tracks with a little video camera talking to you guys about it. Huh. Alright, so there you go, trip down memory lane. And if any of you have got females in your life, girlfriends, wives, daughters, you do find yourself hanging around quite a lot, whether it's outside toilets or just generally waiting to get ready. So there might be a few more of these videos coming. I
do. It's a good way to address some questions I often get, and yeah, have a little look around Pistonolo, which holds a lot of memories for me. But we do need to address the elephant in the room, really, don't we? The toy shop there. It's opposite quite a well-known temple in Pistonolo called Wat Yai. I mean, I know knobs have got quite symbolic nature here in Thailand, but a toy shop, I was a bit confused. I mean, can you imagine turning up at someone's house and giving that to the kids, or I was thinking about one for the wife, but it kind of made me feel a bit inadequate. And they're quite a size, and they're only 299 baht, which I don't know. If you're passing that way, yeah, you can pick one up for the mother-in-law. I don't know. Could be an interesting one. The property questions I get them all the time. As I said in the video, you got to weigh up your options. And on property, I've seen a fantastic Nordic house just at the weekend. Hopefully, I pressed record. It's probably the nicest one I've seen, so watch out for that. I might put it up this weekend. And so yeah, life is about those little decisions you make, isn't it? I'm sure you've all made them, and suddenly, well, I find myself sometimes thinking, how did I end up here? And then I sort of rewind, and yeah, the snooker club. Yeah, if he wasn't that good at snooker, and I'd stayed there, and maybe had a few beers and turned left instead of right, it'd all been a lot different. And on the nomadic retiree visa, or being a nomadic retiree, that is kind of what I'd be looking at. There's a lot of up and downs in the how Asian countries are sort of viewing retirees, and a lot of people don't like parking the money in the bank and feel a bit disgruntled how they're being treated generally. So I would get to know the visa systems, and you do that by just meeting people in bars as well, how they do it online. And I highlighted some ways you can just sort of come in and out. You don't have to spend too long in one place, but I would keep Cambodia, if it keeps its present visa requirements, I would keep that as a base. And you can extend, you can go off to the Philippines for a bit. It depends how much cash you got, doesn't it? But you don't need to be tied down by monies in the bank, loads of paperwork and house visits, and it can be a bit annoying, to be honest with you. So that's where I stand on that one. So yes, I will be doing more of it. I don't know about the visa videos, actually. I mean, it's very, because things change so quickly. You put one out and then the requirements change, and I might just bring it up in these type of videos if I see something interesting on the visa front. I mean, the 10-year visa has dropped. The 10-year Thai sort of wealthy global citizen. We'll see how that plays out. So anyway, on that note, I'll say stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video.